Today's episode is presented by Lodestar, the fee experts.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Lending Leaders. My name is Alayna Gardner, AMP, and this week I'm joined by Liz Short from The Short Solution. Welcome back to the podcast, Liz.
Thanks so much, Alayna. It's always great to be here and chat with you.
Of course, yeah. And it's always fun. We're doing some things together in preparation for MBA Annual, and it's so fun to get to work with you and your team. So we've got a video coming out, a little promo for our venue in the next couple of weeks that you guys have worked on, and really excited about that. And I'm going to let you talk about the bracelet plan we have, because we got a sneak peek at that at the beginning here, right?
I love it. Well, that's why, we just love working with Team Lodestar, because you and the team are just so creative. So you let us have so much fun in the work that we do with you guys. So we are working on a plan. We are both going to Empower at MBA Annual on Saturday, and we are showing up with some friendship bracelets, right? That are themed to give out to our friends and soon to be friends that we meet along there. So I will be coming with some Get Shit Done hot pink bracelets to hand out to everyone to keep a little bit of accountability and reminder to everybody. Get Shit Done is a little bit of my motto, my company's motto, if you don't know that. And so I know you're planning on showing up with some bracelets as well too, right, Alayna?
Yeah, so I've got some Thirsty Thursday ones, as well as I'll have a few Lending Leaders ones as well for former guests and future guests.
Ooh.
So really excited about that. And I think it leads us so nicely into our next question, which is, we talk a lot about market changes and projections for the coming quarters and all that, and we're in full planning mode, right, for 2025 at this point. But something we don't talk about as much in this space is how marketing strategies evolve. So how do you think marketing strategies should evolve with the market changes?
Absolutely. Great question. I think that, it's twofold, because not only is the market constantly changing, but the platforms we use, the way that people engage with marketing content is constantly evolving too, right? And so you not only have to keep an eye on, what your audience is wanting to hear, is top of mind for them, the pain points that they're feeling, the things that are on their mind, the needs that they have, but also keep on top of, what the trends are, how people are communicating, where your customers are showing up, where they're spending time, how you can reach them in a novel way. And so, for us here, we are constantly looking at what we're doing quarterly, evaluating who we're talking to, how we're approaching it, what we need to tweak and pivot, and really making sure that we're honing in on addressing where our clients are, what their needs are, and how we can best connect them. So it's an evolving process, I think, if you're doing it right. And you really have to weave it into, your day-to-day business planning. It's not just something you can set at the beginning of the year and then, put it on autopilot and check back in a year. I think you have to really be tuned into where people are at today.
Yeah. And I think long gone are the days of being able to set your budget at the beginning of the year and be like, this is what I'm going to spend money on this year, and just be good, right?
Absolutely.
And I've, pulled shows, I've added shows, I've done this, I've done that, right? Like, and I think that's so important too, is being able to have that kind of, I leave a free pot, as I like to call it, of like, there are going to be opportunities that come up middle of the year after budgets are set and all of that. You need to be able to be flexible on, to create unique ideas, to create and do fun new things, right? Because if you lock yourself down before you've had a good idea,
the one of our favorite words over here is pivot, right? We like to practice the pivot strategically, right? You can't just pivot in a circle, because then you're not going to get anywhere. But really, like you said, making sure that you leave enough room in the budget, in your plan, in your capacity to be able to take advantage of those things that are going to organically pop up over the year, I think is so important. Not just during a huge market shift, but during any time as well too, right? Because there are just great opportunities that you're not going to know about that far ahead.
Yeah. And I think as we talk about 2025, last time we were on the show, we talked a little bit about how to do more than survive until
Yes.
25.
Yeah.
We're now sitting in October, right? We've got 2 months left of 2024. We've had a rate cut. We're in the middle of an election season. What should people be doing right now to prioritize more than just surviving in 25?
Absolutely. Well, if you're still just surviving, you're probably at a place where you're not going to be around forever and ever. I think the people that are
Hmm.
doing it right have already started prioritizing the right things. What's important right now is whether or not you're executing yet, you make sure you have a strategy, right? A strategy that
Hmm.
is going to take you beyond this rate cut, beyond this election cycle, beyond 2025. Where do you see you and your company being in 5, 10 years? And what changes do you need to make to get there, right? And probably the biggest pain point I'm going to guess most companies have is leveling up their technology, because I truly believe in 5 to 10 years, consumers will demand a completely different mortgage process than most companies are able to give today. And so what you should be doing right now is making sure that in the midst of all of these changes that are still happening, rates are going down. Hopefully the market's getting better. We have an
Hmm.
election cycle that we cannot control and have no idea what's going to happen on the other side of it. Make, who knows,
Who knows?
making
We're just
sure
guessing.
that you are focusing on where you need to get to and you are
Hmm.
taking those daily, weekly, monthly steps to get there, I think is super important right now. The thing that I'm really honing people in on is looking at your resourcing and capacity and making sure you're realistic in both of those things being able to happen at the same time. A lot of times companies have been in a place where they've been able to throw their operations staff at project work, at large scale implementation to help out, right? Because they haven't had the volume. With this volume
Hmm.
changing and an anticipation of whatever that looks like stabilizing, we have to get back to a place where we have the right resources running these large scale projects. We have the right resources in charge of making these decisions, and we're able to grow our business as well as do business at the same time. And so I think those are the things that the people who are doing it right are focusing on going
Hmm.
into this next quarter and into 2025.
Yeah. And then I think, as you're talking, I kind of had this thought is what is the thing that you within your brand, within your company are most excited for in 2025?
Wow. So I'm always excited within our company. We are a young company, about
Hmm.
2.5 years, so we are always continuing to grow, level up. What's exciting right now is we are seeing a lot of companies really start to put the foot on the gas, in a lot of major ways, right? And so
Hmm.
it's excited to be able to come in even bigger ways, in this next year to help people get shit done, whether or not that's with deciding that they're ready to step into I need to figure out what I'm doing about my current LOS situation. I
Hmm.
need to figure out how I get a better technology roadmap to get me 5 to 10 years out, right? Or I need to figure out how I'm building a personal brand. I'm helping our
Hmm.
executives invest in video, right? All of these things, people are really excited about, and we are helping a lot more people with this quarter, last quarter, and going into 25. And so I'm just really excited about the possibilities that are out there. And, I'm a big proponent of the fact that our industry needs to revolutionize. We are
Hmm.
behind in so many ways. And so it's exciting to be able to finally be in a position to help
Hmm.
people do that, right? And this
Yeah.
isn't about AI and machines over people, right? I think there's this false dichotomy that it's one or the other. This is about getting technology that both meets the consumer's needs as well as helps your employees do their highest and best use and makes their job easier too. And I think that that's an exciting thing, for our company to be able to help lenders and other vendors do, going into 2025 and beyond.
Yeah. And I think we're at such an interesting point in the mortgage space where we're kind of, and I've been talking about this for the last 6 months or so, is our staffing levels are at the lowest they've been in
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
right? But now is a great time to actually look at technology and implement it because you're not going to be eliminating any positions. You don't have to
100%.
reshuffle your staff. You don't have to look look for that next thing, right?
Yep.
And it
Yep.
just becomes more about protecting the jobs you have today with technology.
Absolutely.
And then when you realize, oh, yes, we do need more people to add bandwidth and like we can protect those jobs. I
Absolutely.
think that's a huge thing for me personally is just, when we have as leaders have responsibilities, right, to our staff members, to our team members to try our best, right,
Yep.
to protect those
Absolutely.
positions. And I think that's something that I care a lot about. So I've been talking about it.
For sure.
And I think technology is a great way to protect those jobs long term.
100%. And I'm a former ops manager. I come from mortgage operations. That's kind of my background, right? And I think, again, there's a lot of fear in that world around technology, around jobs being eliminated. And, I think as leaders, one of the most important things that, mid upper level ops managers can do is really inform themselves about how technology can help them and help their staff and help their staff understand that too, really, and remove that layer of fear. And Alayna, I 100% agree with you. This is about ethically leading and using technology to support people versus, we've broken our people in this industry cycle over cycle over cycle, and there is a better way to do it. And I think technology plays a large role in that. And again, provides a better customer experience at the same time, right? It really is a win-win. And this is a perfect time to illustrate that, unfortunately, due to the fact that we are at such low staffing levels right now.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to have us pivot a little bit. So we've
I love a
already
good
asked
pivot.
you, we love a good pivot. We've already asked you the Lodestar question. So instead, I'm going to ask you a new question.
Okay,
So you create a lot of content online.
I do.
What is your least favorite thing about content marketing?
Oh, that's a really good question. So if you would have told me 2.5 years ago that this was my life creating all this content, I wouldn't have believed it. I think my least favorite thing, I just gave it away. Least favorite thing is the time that it takes, right? That I think it takes to do it well. You see a lot of people out there that are like, oh, spend 1 hour and create content for a whole month. Spend 30 seconds and make 400 videos. Okay, I'm exaggerating on that one, but there's a lot of promises. Use ChatGPT to write everything and then just cut and paste. I wish that were true, but I don't think that necessarily, it doesn't give you the quality of the connection, right? And so my least favorite thing is the vast amount of time that it does take to do it well and do it authentically. But the payoff on the other side is worth it,
Yeah, I was
right?
going to say, what's your most favorite thing then to end on a positive note?
Yeah, I mean, the payoff is there's probably nothing else that I could put that amount of time in that would get me the results, and results for me means leads, right? It means people that I'm talking to. It means people that I'm converting into clients, customers, repeat customers. I met you through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And Lodestar is a customer of mine through LinkedIn. And so it's just amazing the opportunity that can come from sitting in a room and talking to something that we carry around in our pockets all day long, and then just hitting post on a social media platform. So I think the power of content creation is amazing. And, I tell everybody, if you're not creating content on LinkedIn and you're selling to businesses, you're absolutely insane, because there's such a good opportunity to get in front of a lot of people just by putting some time and effort into it.
Well, thank you so much, Liz, for joining me today. And thank you all so much for listening to us. If you happen to be at MBA Annual, we'll both be there. We'd love to meet you.
Absolutely.
We have a lovely reception on Sunday night at Lucky Strike Denver from 7:30 to 10:30. And thank you guys all so much for being here, and we'll see you next week.